Yes, ma'am, we're live now.
Thanks, Bhavya. Good morning. It's always a pleasure to introduce especially for me, to introduce the facilitator for this workshop. Scripting from tell to show, take 2. The facilitator this morning will talk to you about how to take an idea and build it into a screenplay. And I think as filmmakers, this is something we should all very deeply be interested in. The facilitator for this workshop believes that the arts encourage students to channel their energies in very constructive ways and provide a kind of non-verbal vocabulary for expression. She's been a teacher educator, I think her entire life for over 40 years. And she's also included the arts as a process and a product in her way of teaching in pedagogy, interpreting literature through films and storytelling, and performing poetry with music. So welcome, Dr. Hema Ramanathan. So happy to have you. And I have to say that Hema is not just a facilitator for this workshop. I think this festival for the past 3 years could not have happened without her. She's also chairing the jury every year. So thank you so much for being with us. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed being with the Footprint Film Festival. I've enjoyed watching the movies. I've enjoyed interacting with the filmmakers. I've enjoyed watching the others, though I don't say very much during them because everybody else has so much to say and I really want to listen. But it's been very interesting. And like Vidisha was saying, it goes from strength to strength. It goes from a sense of having done it to having been able to see how it was done. So that was very exciting and very interesting because my perception as somebody who watches a film is very different. And that's what we're going to talk about now, because we're going to talk about how you as a filmmaker start looking at an idea and how you progress with that idea to creating it and to planning for it. So we're not looking at how you actually do the technology, make it and film it, but we're going to look at the process, the back end, as we call it, of getting the film made. So, so when I say from show to tell, from tell to show, we talk about how we talk about the film and then how we actually get to showing it and what it means to show rather than tell. We always say when you talk about a movie, it's better to show than to tell, which is why when you have slides or frames that, that give you what I call moral prisms or moral aphorisms. So a point that it makes, honesty is the best policy, or we all should save the environment. That kind of saying has much less effect in a visual medium like filmmaking than showing something that convinces me this is what we need to do and this is how we need to do it. So let's get off with talking about how you actually begin to plan what you want to do. And anytime that you want to ask a question, just stop and ask. Okay? All of you, both of you, all of you, and everybody watching out in the YouTube, even if you're not able to participate, welcome to the session. And I hope you put down remarks on the YouTube channel so that we can go back and look at it and maybe respond to it after the session's over. Okay. We begin with a story idea, right? Dia, Would you like to tell us what your story idea was?
Ma'am, my story basically it had no dialogues, or I did not make any script because my movie did not have any dialogues. So I just thought in my mind and I did the video, ma'am.
Yeah, what did you think in your mind, dear?
Ma'am, I just thought that the viewer, the one who watches the video, must understand that that the practices that we did in our olden times is also very good, and we must practice it even now. On that, I did the film, ma'am.
Right. So the idea was that there are certain old practices in the past that are very good that we should still continue doing. Right? So you definitely had a story idea. That when we talk about a story, the story doesn't have to be a narrative in the sense of once upon a time there lived a king. The story is the kernel, the basic idea that you have for what you want to convey through your movie. Okay? So that is what we mean by the story idea. We'll come to that a little later. I'll come back to you, Kaushik, when we revisit this in a couple of minutes. So the process that you usually use is that you have an idea, and then usually you have a log line, which is exactly what you did just now, Dia. Then you have a synopsis, and we'll come to the synopsis too. And then you have an outline or a one-liner. Then you have a treatment. We'll talk about the treatment a lot more in the next 45 minutes. The final thing that you have before you begin shooting is a screenplay, right? The screenplay has everything anybody ever needs in while shooting the film, whatever the cinematographer or the everybody from the director down to the lights and the costumes and everybody. Okay, let's take a little a closer look at what we mean by story idea. Kaushik, what was your film about?
My films.
No, I know, but what is the idea that you have for a film? If you were to make a film, what idea would you have?
Child labor.
Yeah, right. That's an idea. It's a large idea with a lot of importance to it. Just as Dia has a lot of importance to what actually happened. Yeah. So you talk about what it is. What are the features of a story idea? You talk about a genre. And we won't go into that right now, but we talked about the theme. You talked about child labor. You talked about good habits of our great grandparents. And then you talk about who are you talking to and who is going to be in the film? Who are the people who feature? In Dia's case, it is not the people who feature, right? It is a thing that features, right, Dia? So what is the thing that you wanted to feature in it, Dia?
Ma'am, it was a goblet, or in Malayalam we call it kindi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a goblet. All of you know what a goblet is like, right? So the goblet, and what do you use a goblet for, Dia?
Ma'am, to pour holy water.
Yeah, it's a goblet of water. Right. All of you, both of you watch films, and people out there watch films. Let's talk about, do you know this film about a story about a magician, a boy magician? No? Come on, somebody must know here. No? Think about it. It's an 8 film franchise, art film बनाए हैं इस magician के बारे में.
Is it Harry Potter?
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Do you know the story of, and it's not a boy actually, it's a girl, the second one. The girl being the only non-magician in the family? That is a print error. It was a film made in 2021. It was up for the Oscars.
Psycho?
Close. Starts with an E. Any idea? It's called Encanto. What is the murder mystery that you know? जिसमें murder होता है. Any movie, जो भी. Hindi, Bengali, English.
Seven.
Yeah? Ooh, now we're really getting deep. Okay. Any others? All right.
Ma'am, triple R.
Huh?
Triple R.
Yeah. Oh my. Triple R murder mystery तो है, लेकिन murder mystery नहीं है. बहुत ज़्यादा murders है उसमें. बहुत ज़्यादा लोग मरते हैं उसमें, लेकिन mystery नहीं है ना, थोड़ा सा. Inspirational story about a boy or a girl.
Ma'am, Hacked.
Yeah, all right, all right. Have you seen the movie Skateboard Girl? Or Skate Girl, I think. You should
No,
see
ma'am.
that. I think it's on Netflix. See it. It's a lovely story about a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old who suddenly finds that she can skateboard. And there's somebody who comes to the village and teaches him how. And it's a very inspirational story. Kuch musician ki or filmmaker, a film about a musician or about a filmmaker, a politician.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, I love that film too. And I thought he was wonderful. Okay, let's talk about something that all of us like watching. Godlike men, not gods, godlike people with that kind of strength and those strange abilities.
Ma'am, Free Guy.
Yeah, and almost any Marvel film, every Marvel film is about a godlike man who can do extraordinary things, right? Those are all story ideas. All right. And what you got just now, what we talked about just now, is what we call the log line. One-liners, which really tell you the theme and what really happens. Okay, you talk about an inspiration story of a young girl who skateboards. That's your log line. It tells everybody who's in the story, what is the story about, what kind of story it is. Yeah. It's also what I call the elevator speech, because when you get into a lift or an elevator, it takes you about 5 seconds to go between floors. So if somebody's in the elevator with you and you're going up to the 12th floor, you've got about, maybe half a minute and a half minute to tell them what the story is. And you really want them to watch it. Okay. A synopsis is what you write when you want to send it to somebody to say, okay, this is what my film is about. A synopsis also makes very much clearer to everybody around. Do they want to be involved in the film? A synopsis, for instance, is what you send to your technicians. your assistant, when you're gathering a crew together. A synopsis, what you send out to a producer to say, I'd like to have a meeting with you. This is what my film is about. It's a kind of movie that you've done before, that you've presented before. Can we meet and talk about it? Okay. So it's not very long, 300 to 500 films. Bas. And a one-liner breaks that synopsis up into 3 acts. Okay. Each act can have 3 scenes, 2 or 3 scenes. So in Act 1, you introduce characters. You set the tone. Kahan hota hai? Where does a film travel? Kya scenes hai usme? Kya settings hoga usme? Uski incidents kya hota hai? Jo exciting hota hai? How do you build up the story? So that gives you the introduction and the introducing and the initial events and actions of the story. Act 2 builds it up further. You have all the, when you talk about RRR, you talk about what happens next. How does it go further? And what is the climax? What is the ultimate? What is it all building up towards? Act 2 gives you that, builds it up to that. Act 3 says, okay, now that the climax is over, how does a movie end? Does everybody die? Does everybody live? Is everybody happy? Are the bad people, how are they dealt with? Do they die? Are they punished? Are they forgiven? Do they feel bad about what they did? Right? Is everybody happy? So that is what we call the one-liner. And the one-liners are just that. They're not very long. So you take each scene, you talk about it in a few lines, no more than that. Okay? One-liners shouldn't be very long. They shouldn't be 30, 40 pages. Maximum of 10 pages. Because somebody needs to just read through it very quickly to see, I think I might be interested. Come and talk to me. This is the kind of thing that you send out to actors, to the cast that you want to involve when you make a movie. Okay, and you're talking of a big movie. When you're taking a 30-minute movie, for instance, people need to know, right? And then when you're making a 30-minute movie, which is what all of you are building towards, you have a treatment. The treatment is a complete analysis of what actually happens. And you have basic details, like the title of your movie. You have one, your name, your contact. You include the log line, the description of main characters. You have the synopsis, you have the summary, which we've talked about. And then you have bold, powerful language, 10 pages max. If your outline is 5 pages, this becomes 10 pages, no more than that. Outline usually is about 2 to 3 pages and you build it up here, okay? This is what we're going to come back to talk about because this kind of brings together how interesting can you make your film. You've had the idea, but how do you make it really interesting? And then you have the screenplay. The screenplay has much more detail. Like I said, for everybody, when somebody reads a screenplay, the cast and the crew, they know exactly where they are, what they're supposed to do, each one of them. Okay? Now, let's go back and look at what the treatment looks like. I don't know how many of you watch sci-fi films, but this is a scene from a much beloved sci-fi film, which was first made in the, I'm going to say 70s. I forget the dates. And then it was made again a few years ago. And I must say that the earlier one is my favorite because the characters are so sweet. But the later one has really good technical capacity. Okay, so let's look at this and then see what we can make of it. Okay, so we have exterior. So we begin with, where is the scene set? This is just one scene. Where is the scene set? It's an exterior. And if it's an exterior, then where is it? It's on a hilltop. What time of day is it? Now, that is, of course, important for the camera person to know what they need to be able to do, right? And that is something that the camera person will be able to tell you because of that. So let's look at what we see here. The creature. It starts with who's the center of the film and who's the center of this scene. The creature stands alone on a hilltop as he stares, and it doesn't say it, though it could, but it says he stares down at the city lights below. Then it tells you what he does, and then what he sees, and what scares him. And then what the creature does, runs from the light. Several other trucks with headlights glaring drive up. Smoke flows from the exhaust pipe. So we get this mounting tension and the mounting action. And we only see men's legs, okay? Which then shows you who the creature is, E.T. And it also says how small the E.T. is. It gives the camera person an idea of what viewpoints they can take, right? The POV. Then we see a man, keys jangling from his waist, walk past a headlight. And there's an indication given of what the keys mean. And the keys are something that recur. And they always identify who the enemy is, right? Okay. I don't know how many of you watched the film One Boat, One Hope, but let's watch it's not a very long film. Let's watch the first minute of the film. Can we cue it? And I'll stop sharing. Okay.
Hema, would you like me to share it?
Yes, please.
Just give me one moment, yeah?
Sure. So this is what we're going to do. When you watch the film, and those of you who are on YouTube and may not be able to see it, if you can't, you can go to the Footprint Film Festival site and look for One Boat, One Hope, and maybe stream it for yourself. It's on the site, and that's the one we're going to watch. And then you can come back and continue with us when you're ready. Okay? So, right, thank you. Can we stop here for a minute? Can we stop for a minute? Okay. We'll come back to this later. Thank you. Okay, what did we just see? Describe what we saw.
Okay, we saw that the ones who were riding the boat were washed away by the waves, and one by one, everyone was being washed away, and finally, the whole boat is in a mess. As in, yeah, is being washed
Okay.
totally.
Right. So we saw people in a boat. We saw the boat, people being washed away, and we saw the boat capsizing, overturns, right? Thank you, Shweta. Kaushik, और तुमने कुछ, did you see anything else?
मैम पहले तो स्टॉर्म आ गया, वो जो बंदा बोट में जा रहा था, शायद कुछ काम था उसको, मैंने सी में था या रिवर में था?
सी में था, हाँ। कितने लोग थे उस बोट में, पता चला?
मैम
Watch it again. दूसरी बार हम देखेंगे तो याद रखना काउंट करने के लिए।
अराउंड 7 or 8.
वेरी गुड, बहुत अच्छा ऑब्जर्वेशन स्किल है आपकी। हाँ, वेरी गुड।
मैम थैंक्स टू प्रियंजना एंड विदिशा मैम।
Well, आपने अच्छी तरह से सीखा है उससे। That is important. Very good. Dia, what did you see? So there was a sea, there were waves, there was a boat, there were 7 or 8 people in the boat. Boat capsizes, people disappear. Did you see anything else? There was a storm. How do you know there was a storm, Dia?
Ma'am, because it was raining heavily and there was wind too. Also, the people were trying to row as hard as they could, but they could not resist the storm and they were falling one by one.
Okay, that is another point, important point. They were trying to row one by one. Sorry, they fell over, but even as they were falling over, they were rowing very hard. And all of them were rowing together, and then all of them were rowing alone, right? So they were alone, but together. Storm mein kya tha, Kaushik?
मैम वो जो स्टॉर्म में लाइट हो रहा था बहुत।
हाँ, और कुछ सुनाई दे रहा था?
साउंड हो रहा था वो।
So, Dia, what do you call that sound?
Ma'am, thunder and lightning.
Very good. The sound was thunder and the light was lightning, right? Very good. I'd like us to go back and watch this minute again. And what I'd like, do you have a paper and pencil, all of you? नहीं तो याद, Kaushik can remember, उसका memory तो बहुत अच्छा है, मेरा तो इतना नहीं है. So if you can go back when we look at it again, check whether Kaushik is right. How many people do we have in the boat? Okay. I'd also like you to count how many waves there are. How many times the waves wash over? Second thing to count. Third thing, for you to count how many times you hear thunder and how many times you hear lightning. Okay? Right, thank you. Okay, now tell me. How many people in the boat?
8.
Ah, that was very good, Kaushik. You came so close. You're practically on the nose, right? Very good. So, how many times did the waves sweep across the screen?
5.
Dia, did you get another number?
No, ma'am, I got the same number.
Excellent. How many times did you hear thunder and lightning?
2. Equal, ma'am. 2 and 2.
Dia, did you get it more times?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Shweta?
I think I got it more times.
Okay.
More than the number of waves.
Yeah, probably yes. Okay. When we watch again, we'll see how many that is. What else did you see? What other detail did you see this time?
As the waves went by, the boat is being filled with water.
Sorry, I didn't hear the last bit, Saksham.
As the waves went by, the boat is being filled with water.
Yeah, yeah, right. The boat was being submerged by the water, literally watching over the boat, right? The waves. Very good. Can we watch that bit again? And I'd like you to watch for one detail about a person. Let's see if we can catch that this time. Okay? Thank you. कुछ देखा तुमने कौशिक?
मैम एक दूसरे को हेल्प करने की कोशिश कर रहा था.
हाँ, हेल्प करने को कोशिश कर रहे हैं या हेल्प
कर रहा था.
कर रहा था?
मैं हाथ पकड़ रहा.
हाथ पकड़ रहा था लेकिन या हाथ मांग रहा था?
मैम वो जो बंदा बोट से निकल गया वो तो मांग रहा था.
Right. And that is the first indication that you have that somebody's fallen over and is trying to get back in, right? Okay. How did that make you feel? That was the only shot we had of somebody trying to get back on the boat. Otherwise, you just saw people disappearing. What was the point of that particular shot?
Ma'am, I'm not sure, but is it that there was only one boat, but the 8 people, only one had hope.
Even one had hope? What did we see in the end? Nobody had hope. Sab log, if they get off the boat, there's no hope for the boat, right? So if you don't, and that is what Kaushik's point, you need to take people back into the boat and stay together if you want to have hope. If you have people all in one boat, then we have hope. Okay. I'm going to take you back to look at something else, to read something else, because all of you have said this so far. We've said that it is an exterior, it is a sea, it is night. These are the notes that you've taken so far, right? That there's a thunderstorm, there's a boat, there's sea, there are 7 or 8 people in it. There are waves, more thunder and lightning. One person tries to get back into the boat. There are 6 people left in the boat. There's another wave. There are 3 people left. Another wave, thunder, boat sinks, sea, waves, thunder, lightning, and blackout. Right? Any other points you want to put in? Okay. Dia? Oh, no. Will one of you, I'm not going to say Dia, will one of you read this out? I just read it like that. Somebody read this out with expression. Shweta, would you?
Yes. Okay. Exterior, sea, night. Thunderstorm, boat, sea. 7 people in the boat. Waves, thunder, lightning. Boat rocks. Wave washes over the boat. 1 person tries to get back into the boat. 6 people left in the boat. Wave. 3 people left in the boat. Wave. Thunder. Boat sinks. Sea. Waves. Thunder. Lightning. Blackout.
Very nice. Nicely read. Thank you, Shweta.
Thank you.
What is it that you can add to make this more exciting? Because the progression of the action shows that it's very exciting. You have a lot of action. You have drama, people falling out, trying to come back into the boat. So how can you make it more exciting? Add words. So we have a thunderstorm. What kind of a boat is it?
A small boat.
Yeah, thank you, Dia. Why is it important for us to say it's a small boat?
Because there are 8 people, and the boat is very small, and there is a large storm and thunder.
Yeah, it's a large storm. You can hear the thunder and the lightning. And you've got this tiny little boat, right? Good. Does a boat have engines?
No.
No, ma'am, no.
हाँ, तो कैसे चलते हैं इस बोट को? कैसे चलाते हैं?
Just by their strength and by rowing.
It's a rowboat. So it is only the strength of the people against the thunderstorm and the sea. Yeah, and that is important because then you're setting up impossible odds. है ना? इतना सा छोटा सा बोट है जिसको तो रो करना है, लेकिन इतना सा बड़ा सी है और इतना सा बड़ा थंडरस्टॉर्म है, भयंकर थंडरस्टॉर्म है ना? Then you're setting up a contrast, right? Okay, now give me words for thunder. Descriptive words to describe thunder.
Raging.
Raging. Hindi mein kaho. Somebody tell me in Hindi. I'd like other languages. Dia, you speak Malayalam?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we have some words in Malayalam? Adjectives in Malayalam. Start with the boat. Give me adjectives in Malayalam for the boat.
Thorayinna boat. Thorayinna thoni.
Right? That sounds beautiful. Acha Kaushik, Bengali mein kaho. Kuch adjectives boat ke liye.
ম্যাম বোট নৌকাতে 8জন বসেছিল এবং তারা দাঁড় বেয়ে এগোচ্ছিল সামনের দিকে।
Okay, I don't know whether that's right or wrong, but I'm okay with that. I do understand what Dia says because I understand a little Malayalam, but no, that's fine. Okay, Shweta,
Yes.
would you like to
Yes.
would you like to use another language, Hindi?
हाँ, एक छोटी सी नाव, एक प्यारी सी नाव.
Okay, all right. Choti si pyari si na. All right, very nice. So, Dia, give me adjectives for sea.
Agadhamaya samudram.
Okay. It's really huge, gargantuan, right? Okay, Kaushik in Bengali. Sea ke liye kuch.
সমুদ্রের ঢেউ যেহেতু খুব বড় বড় হয় সেহেতু ছোট নৌকা নিয়ে যাওয়া খুব ক্ষতিকারক।
Very nice. You're contrasting the big sea with the small boat. Okay, very nice. Shweta?
तूफानी समुद्र.
Right. Talk about the size of the sea.
बड़ा. Hindi is not my mother tongue.
I put you on the spot.
Maybe I can say it in Kannada.
Yeah, great. Go on.
ತುಂಬಾ ಭಯಾನಕವಾದ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾದ ಸಮುದ್ರ.
That sounds so good too. It really gives it the vast expanse that you see of the sea. Very nice. Dia, give me an adjective for thunder.
Roaring thunder.
Malayalam mein de do.
Bhayanagama idimillal.
Shweta, in Kannada?
Okay. Bhayankaravada.
Yeah, but we see how we're going there. Kaushik, Bengali mein thunder ke liye ek description de do.
ভয়ঙ্কর ঝড়।
We all come back to the same root word, bhayankar, right?
Yeah.
And that is important because that is the emotion that you want the viewer to have, right? So then you talk about thunder and lightning. We've got about 9 minutes left. I'm just going to go back to the next one because there's something else that I want to show you. So this is how you build up. When you're writing a sequence, you first write down the bare bones of what you want people to see, and then what you want people to feel. That's what the treatment does. You want them to see what you want to see on the screen when they read it, but you also want them to feel what the feelings they'll have when they watch that. Okay? So this is something that somebody wrote. A small wooden lifeboat on a stormy sea, huge waves, thunder, bright lightning. Then you have a loud crash of thunder. The boat sinks. You have an empty sea. Okay? The last thing that you need to do when you're writing a treatment, you can't write a paragraph like this because each scene has its own impact, right? So you break it up into paragraphs. So Shweta, would you like, Dia, would you like to do the first paragraph?
Ma'am, there was a huge sea and there was a thunderstorm and lightning too. There was a small boat made of wood and there were 8 people in it.
Excellent. Very good, because that paragraph sets what you need to see, how you need to feel, what the contrasting elements are in the scene. And then it leads you to say, oh my God, what's going to happen now? It leaves you on tenterhooks. Very well done, Dia. Shweta, would you like to continue?
Yeah. Where did she leave at? Sorry.
Begin wherever you want. Begin with the wave.
Okay. On this vast, dark sea, the first wave hits. And then a series.
That's very smart, because then you're really saying, okay, this is the danger that they're facing.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice. Okay. That has impact, Shweta. Good. What is the next paragraph?
And then a series, the people, the 7 people in the boat, gather strength to row for the next wave.
Oh, very good.
A series of strong waves keep coming.
Okay, great. Where do you want to stop the paragraph?
Wait a minute. One strong wave hits and a man, one person falls down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Kaushik, फिर क्या हुआ? एक person तो गुजर गया, right? He's fallen over. Next paragraph क्या होता है फिर?
एक पर्सन जो गुजर मैंने बोट से निकल गया, उसके बाद से जो 7 बंदे लाइव थे उसके अंदर एक डर पैदा हो गया। उसके बाद मेरी बारी है, उसको मैंने फिर से और एक सोच रहा था मेरी बारी होगा।
Very nice. Oh, very nice. So the other 7 people are waiting to say, it's my turn, meri bari hai. All right. Okay. Anybody else that could? I'm sorry, I'm talking to these 3 people, but would somebody else like to come in? I'm not quite sure who Saksham is. I've not heard very much. Okay, let's go back to Dia. What would you like to see next?
When each person falls down, the other people have fear in their minds, and when the last person comes, he also thinks, oh my God, no. So it's now I will also ultimately fall down, and he falls down.
Do you have any dialogue in this?
No.
No. So if you're not going to have dialogue, then don't say a dialogue. Because then if you say a dialogue, the reader will think, oh, so this is not a silent film. This is not a non-dialogue film. Yours is like that, Dia, right? There's no dialogue in it. So when you write, you don't write dialogue, not even what people are thinking.
May I tell something?
Yeah.
मैं यहाँ पर सिर्फ फेस रिएक्शन काम करता है।
हाँ, अगर रिएक्शन है तो ब्रैकेट में डाल दो। ब्रैकेट में डालने से लगता है कि लोग ये बोल नहीं रहे हैं। Okay, so when you write it in brackets. Yeah, Diya?
Okay, ma'am.
Well done. Well done. Okay. This is what, when you paragraph it, it should look like. Paragraph should be very short because then they have effect. They hit you like that. That is one treatment of 1 minute of a film. Okay? Okay, any questions?
No, ma'am.
Tigraha? Yeah? So next year एक film बनाओगे कौशिक?
मेरा तो मैम बहुत इच्छा है मैम।
Very good. So
मैम
next year
अभी अभी
film बनाना है।
हाँ, अभी अभी मैं एक प्रोजेक्ट में काम कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ,
स्क्रिप्ट लिख रहा हूँ।
excellent. ऐसे स्क्रिप्ट लिखोगे फिर?
यस मैम।
ऐसे स्क्रिप्ट लिखोगे फिर? Very good. Good luck and congratulations.
थैंक यू मैम।
अगली बार 4 फिल्म चाहिए।
जितना मांगेगा मैम उतना मिलेगा।
Okay. Good luck to all of you. And thank you for your participation, Kaushik, Shweta, and Diya. And Saksham, though I never really saw your face, but thank you very much, the others, for attending the session.
Thank you.
We are about, oh, we're there. Okay.
Hema, it's always wonderful to be in your workshop. I think there's so much learning that happens. I hope people have watched it. Those who didn't join on the Zoom have had an opportunity to see it on YouTube on the channel, and it'll be there. So it's not going away. You can always re-watch it and ask your friends who might be interested in learning to watch it as well. Yeah? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And good luck to Diya, Shweta, and Kaushik for next year.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you मैम।
Bye.
Bye.
बाय मैम।